Hello, dear. Welcome back to Timeless Wisdom. As you enter your 70s, every year becomes increasingly valuable. You've experienced a rich and full life, accumulating a wealth of experiences. Now, you might find yourself pondering a critical question. How many more years are left for me? What if I told you that the answer isn't solely in your genes or a matter of luck? In fact, for those over 70, research has shown that the choices you make each day significantly influence your longevity, far more than you might think. Today, I'm excited to share some extraordinary insights with you. Leading research institutions, including Harvard Medical School, the National Institute on Aging, and the Mayo Clinic, have pinpointed 4 daily decisions that could not only extend your life, but could add decades to it. These aren't about following the latest diet trends or undergoing costly medical treatments. Rather, they involve simple, everyday choices that have a profound effect on how long and how well you live. Stick with me to the end, because the last decision we discuss might truly surprise you. It's a factor often overlooked by physicians in discussions with older adults, yet it could be the most crucial predictor of longevity for those over 70. By the end of this video, you'll be equipped with actionable, science-supported strategies that could significantly extend your lifespan. Let's dive into the first crucial decision that impacts your longevity post-70. Decision 1. Movement patterns. The first critical decision you make every day isn't what you eat or what supplements you take. It's how you move. Now, I'm not talking about intense exercise or rigorous workouts. I'm talking about your basic movement patterns throughout the day. A landmark study published in the Journal of the American Medical Association followed over 6,000 adults, aged 70 and older, for a period of 12 years. The results were eye-opening. Those who maintained regular movement throughout the day, regardless of whether they did formal exercise, lived an average of 3.7 years longer than those who were sedentary. The key finding wasn't about gym memberships or fitness classes, it was about avoiding prolonged sitting and incorporating natural movement into everyday activities. The researchers found that adults who broke up sitting time every 30 minutes, even just by standing up and walking around for a minute or two, showed significantly better cardiovascular health, lower inflammation markers, and better glucose metabolism than those who sat uninterrupted for hours. A real-life example, consider Martha, a 78-year-old participant in the study. She never did formal exercise, but she got up frequently to water her plants, walked to her mailbox instead of driving, and stood while talking on the phone. These simple movement habits put her in the highest quartile for daily activity. And 8 years later, while many of her sedentary peers had passed away, Martha remained independent and healthy. The science behind this is clear. Prolonged sitting causes immediate changes to your blood vessels, increases insulin resistance, and accelerates muscle loss, all key factors in age-related decline. Each time you stand up, your body activates a series of metabolic processes that help maintain healthy blood pressure, muscle tone, and even brain function. So the first daily decision is simple. Will you remain sedentary for hours, or will you create patterns of regular movement throughout your day? Even if you have mobility limitations, small movements matter. Chair exercises, standing during commercials while watching TV, or simply stretching your arms overhead several times a day can make a measurable difference in your longevity. Decision 2. Protein timing and distribution. The second daily decision that determines how long you'll live after 70 is when and how you consume protein. Most people think about how much protein they eat, but recent research from the University of Arkansas for Medical Sciences shows that for adults over 70, the timing and distribution of protein throughout the day is actually more important than the total amount. Here's what the science tells us. After age 70, your body becomes less efficient at using protein to maintain muscle mass, a condition called anabolic resistance. A study published in the Journals of Gerontology found that adults over 70 who consume their protein evenly across 3 meals maintained 40% more muscle mass over a 3-year period compared to those who ate the same amount of protein but concentrated it in a single meal, typically dinner. Why does this matter for longevity? Because muscle loss is directly linked to mortality in older adults. The Journal of Cachexia, Sarcopenia, and Muscle published research showing that individuals over 70 with the lowest muscle mass had a 63% higher risk of mortality compared to those with higher muscle reserves. Expert recommendations. Dr. Elena Volpe, Director of the Seeley Center on Aging at the University of Texas, recommends aiming for at least 25 to 30 grams of protein at each meal. This could look like breakfast, 2 eggs with whole grain toast and a small serving of Greek yogurt. Lunch, a palm-sized portion of fish or chicken with vegetables. Dinner, a serving of lean protein with a side of legumes or quinoa. For those with smaller appetites, which is common after 70, even adding a boiled egg to breakfast or incorporating a protein-rich snack like cottage cheese between meals can make a significant difference in muscle preservation and longevity. The choice is yours. Will you concentrate your protein in one meal or distribute it throughout the day to maximize its life-extending benefits? This simple decision, made daily, can significantly influence how many healthy years you have ahead. Decision 3. Social engagement depth. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please take a moment to hit the subscribe button and like this video. Your support helps us reach more people with this potentially life-saving information. Now, let's talk about the third critical decision that determines longevity after 70, the depth and quality of your daily social interactions. Many people know that social isolation is bad for health. But what researchers from Brigham Young University discovered after analyzing data from over 300,000 participants is that the type of social interaction matters significantly more than the quantity, especially after age 70. Quality over quantity. Their research, published in the journal PLOS Medicine, found that superficial social contacts had minimal impact on longevity. However, meaningful social interactions, those involving emotional connection, purpose, or helping others, reduced mortality risk by an astounding 29%, comparable to the effect of quitting smoking. The Harvard study of adult development, one of the longest-running studies on aging, followed participants for over 80 years and came to a similar conclusion. Director Dr. Robert Waldinger states, "The people who were the most satisfied in their relationships at age 50 were the healthiest at age 80. Practical application. What does this mean in practice? Each day you have a choice. Will you engage in deeper, more meaningful interactions, or will you settle for superficial exchanges? Consider these contrasting approaches, a quick hello to neighbours versus a genuine conversation about their lives, watching TV alone versus participating in a group activity, even virtually, receiving help versus finding small ways to help others, which research shows is particularly beneficial for older adults. Even for those with limited mobility or living alone, technology now offers ways to maintain meaningful connections. A study in the journals of gerontology found that video calls with family members produce the same neurological benefits as in-person visits for adults over 70, activating areas of the brain associated with emotional well-being and cognitive function. Your daily decision: will you prioritize meaningful social connections or let another day pass without the deeper interactions your brain and body need to thrive? Decision 4. Purposeful activity engagement. We've arrived at the fourth and perhaps most surprising daily decision that determines longevity after 70. Choosing to engage in purposeful activities, regardless of how small they might seem. A groundbreaking study published in JAMA Network Open followed nearly 7,000 adults over the age of 70 for 8 years. The researchers found that those who reported having a strong sense of purpose, a reason to get up in the morning, were 2.4 times more likely to survive the study period than those who reported little purpose in their daily lives. The Rush Memory and Aging Project, which has been tracking aging outcomes for over 20 years, found similar results. Their research showed that purposeful activity doesn't have to be grand or world-changing. What matters is engaging in activities that feel meaningful to you. For study participant Frank, age 83, purpose came from tending his small garden and sharing vegetables with neighbours. For Elaine, 77, it was reading to children at the local library once a week. These seemingly simple activities provided structure, social connection, and a sense that their actions mattered. All powerful contributors to longevity. Neurological benefits. Neurologically, purposeful activity stimulates the production of BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor, sometimes called fertilizer for the brain, which promotes neural health and protects against cognitive decline. It also reduces levels of inflammatory cytokines, which are linked to most age-related diseases. Dr. Patricia Boyle of the Rush Alzheimer's Disease Centre notes, having a purpose in life is associated with less damage to brain tissue in older adults, even for those who develop the plaques and tangles of Alzheimer's disease. The daily choice. Will you engage in something, anything, that gives you a sense of purpose, whether it's caring for a pet, participating in a community project, creating art, or simply helping a neighbour? This decision may be the most powerful determinant of how many years you have left. Conclusion. Your choice, your future. Timeless wisdom. We've explored 4 daily decisions validated by science that will determine your longevity after 70. Movement patterns throughout your day, the timing and distribution of protein in your meals, the depth of your social engagements, and engaging in purposeful activities that add meaning to your days. What's extraordinary about these insights is that they return control to you. No matter your past habits, current health status, or genetic makeup, these 4 decisions can profoundly influence the years you have left. This is corroborated by Blue Zone's research, which examines regions with the highest number of centenarians like Okinawa, Japan, and Sardinia, Italy. In these places, it's common for people to live well into their 90s and beyond. With these 4 elements seamlessly integrated into their daily lives, I encourage you to take the first step today. You don't have to completely overhaul your lifestyle all at once. Start with one manageable change. Perhaps set a timer to remind yourself to stand up every 30 minutes. Include more protein in your breakfast. Engage in a meaningful conversation, or dedicate 15 minutes to a hobby or activity that brings you joy. Remember, it's the small, everyday decisions that ultimately shape your journey. As the ancient proverb goes, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is today. Thank you for tuning in to Timeless Wisdom. If you found this information helpful, please give us a like, subscribe, and share this video with someone you care about. Your feedback is invaluable, so leave a comment below about which of these 4 decisions resonated with you the most. Your support enables us to continue producing content that can genuinely impact people's lives. Until our next video, I wish you health, purpose, and many vibrant years ahead.